On the field! Count him! Like Louis C!
Vienna Vikings have won the most championships in Austria. You know, we're a huge club, we've got a lot of people, we've got a lot of following, and we're trying to grow the sport.
We have a couple of guys who joined our team just because they want to have the opportunity to play against the best teams in Europe. And I think the Vikings are just the organization to play for if you're living in Vienna or somewhere near around.
Where we've come as a program has gone, you know, from really wanting to win something. How do you win it? Well, you got to have good players. I think in 2002 we had 10, 11 imports, something like that. When I came over here in 2004, we had 8, and then we kept winning championships, and you know, eventually it got to a point where with 2 Austrian quarterbacks ended up making the EuroBowl final. Now, in that time, it took us to 2013 to win another EuroBowl with an Austrian quarterback, and we did that. So we continue with our process, and now we're not playing with any imports.
We don't feel like we need to act on it every time a league changes or opponents rise from somewhere because they got money all of a sudden and get a lot of imports and stuff. That's why we turned away from imports, to create a bigger challenge, to do it with our kids, to do it with our education, with our coaching, to prove that we can compete with any team in Europe.
I have 3 beautiful children and a wonderful wife. My son's 11 years old right now. He was in the office with me today, and he was, you know, watching the film and whatnot. You know, we had a little father-son football day. But he's going to grow up a Viking. And with these guys, my coaching staff at the Team 1, Team 2 levels, they've all played for me for a long time. We have a program that we build from the base up, and we coach through the base up. We run the same systems, at least terminology-wise, from starting at the ages of 15 to the U17, to our Team 2, and then to our Team 1. And we've even extended that to not just having it as a club sport where you come in your free time, but we started the academy, where kids are actually going to high school. It's a sports school. They're doing it full time, so they're here 4 days of the week.
We get the academy kids in a total of 7 hours a week in the morning, plus the 6 hours in the evening. So the workload on them per week is pretty huge. That gives us enough time to educate them, to be athletes on all levels, to be sensitive about their bodies, about social life in a team, about the details that go into football and to their athleticism.
Easy Flo! Nicht so einen Auftakt, bleib locker mit dem Armen beim Drehen!
Since the current class is only the second one to graduate from that school, the effect of our teaching here is not really measurable yet.
When I was 7 years old, I had no idea what football is or what the Vikings are, so I was surprised how great the sport is, and I really fell in love with it. Since I've been here, I couldn't imagine to play for another team because I love the spirit, I love the people who really are willing to work hard.
First thing you do is like, before you go into school is lifting, and then you go to school, and after that you have practice. It's like just a normal day routine in the college life.
They don't have much free time. If you want to be successful in the academy, you have to be a good athlete, a good student, and you have to go all out if you want to reach something.
Might not be Izzy this week, might be Joey's week, might be Voppel's week, might be Stankic's week. You know what I mean? I don't know, but we just got to kind of roll with it. But you need to know this, I'm always looking, how can we best use this guy and this guy?
I've been coaching a long time and have coached pretty much at every level of football. And I went to Boise State with Dirk Cutter, became the head coach there, and I went to Colorado, out a couple years, then went to Canada, and then back, been doing work with ESPN. So been on a lot of continents. I've coached ball in Australia, coached ball in Ireland, been in Serbia, and now I'm in Austria. I don't think you're gonna find anywhere the type of development that goes on here. I mean, there's kids out there right now. There's kids here all day long, men, women, boys, girls, a lot of different teams, a lot of different clubs, and they do a great job of really breaking down all the fundamentals and developing kids athletically and football-wise. I mean, when you have over 700 people in your football program, that's impressive.
Our kids started with 4 years old playing flag football. But to play football in pads, they start here, they can be 8. So they're playing like 8 to 11-year-olds in one class. They're more friendly games. We don't count at those games.
We're producing top athletes and good players as far as we can see right now. And the problem with that might be that they're gonna leave us because they're that good. That's something we have to figure out as a program.
Our philosophy is that, you know, we can give the guys great coaching. We can give them professional coaching. You know, and hopefully one of these days, maybe you see a Viking in the NFL, and, you know, that's the ultimate level, and guys always strive for that. You know, so it's a good story that kids can dream the American football dream now, and it can be realistic for them to, you know, take a step up where they can grow up saying, hey, I want to play quarterback, and they know that an import quarterback's not going to take their spot as soon as they step over here.
Coming from Helsinki, and especially France, it was more of a thank you mentality, like thank you for helping us out and thank you for doing everything that you do, which is the case at the Raiders, but the expectation is so much higher. The bar is always up here. You have stressors on you all the time. Positive stressors, they're meant to get the best out of you, but they're there.
The years before Coach Schuhen Fatah came to Innsbruck, it was not the way it is right now. It was more like go out there, make plays, have fun. Times changed, and football, especially in Austria and Europe, changed. Practice-wise, game-wise, he's always like, you have to be on the point, know exactly what to do, and I think the level improved a lot over time.
I've always wanted to be a professional football player, and I feel most professional when I play for the Raiders. There's a special characteristic that you need to have, and I think it takes a special personality to be in that environment for a long period of time. If we don't win championships, we aren't doing what we're supposed to do.
Is it just me, or is it getting colder?
It is getting a little fresh.
Yeah, it's pretty cold.
It's getting a little
Damn
chilly.
cold. How many different shades of blue can you wear?
I
I think there's 4 right now.
John Shelton, he's living here all year round. That's just great advantage for us, and we've been practicing the whole winter time. He's definitely the best quarterback I've ever played with.
One thing that makes the Raiders distinctly different from other clubs is our full-time management guys. And we have our GM, Peter Swartza, who's in the office every day, and his sole job is to make sure that the Raiders are operating at a high level. Having guys like that is why we're able to do what we do, and why Raiders TV is so successful, and why we're able to play at Tivoli, and why we're able to have big sponsors and have some of the luxuries that maybe other teams don't.
For us, the facility here on game days is awesome. It's really necessary to go into the big stadiums to get big crowds. If you play in the backyard, nobody's taking you serious.
Go jog it off!
Tivoli Stadium is one of the best in Europe for American football, and we appreciate to be in there.
I still remember the first game I ran on the field and got my name called. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have goosebumps. 4,000 people there. I look up, my mom's crying, and you don't get that everywhere in Europe. You know, Tivoli is a special place to play football. Vienna has that academy and wants to do everything domestically and has been shying away from imports as of late. If you can do that and still be competitive, great.
The biggest difference between us and the Vikings is the population of the city. Because we are living here in a city with 130,000 people. Vikings are living in a city with 1.8 million people. They are not really need imports because they have a broad range of players. So we have to fill up some certain spots with imports here to compete on European level with the highest clubs.
In Austria, it is Swarco against the world. Our perception is maybe a little bit the bad boys of Europe. We're going to do what we do, and that's the bottom line. And I think sometimes that can rub people the wrong way, but ultimately, we don't care.